in. How is it going, everyone? Welcome to more Driveclub. Today's gonna be the day that apparently the dynamic weather makes its entrance. Well, more importantly, rain. I don't know what other type of weather condition there was in this game, but the most important one is rain. So Elements is the one where that supposedly happens, so, well, we will see. Scottish summer. Well, if it's summer, I don't think it's gonna have any rain here. Masanti Evantra. Okay. I have no clue what this car was. Oh, that's a very pretty looking color. I mean, it has an Italian flag, right? It's an well, it sounds Italian enough. That's a curious thing. A lot of the Lamborghinis also have on the side like the green, white, red of the Italian flag. But it's called Scottish Summer because it's supposed to happen in Scotland. Nothing to do with the nationality of the car. That's a very mean corner to start. Also, how is it going, sunshine? Huh, in the UK expect rain in the summer. Well, it could happen. I don't see enough clouds for the rain to happen though. I can see that. It's something that I always heard about England, for example, is that it rains every time. But yeah, I didn't think about the UK in general, because yes, I mean, Scotland is part of the UK, and yeah, I'm assuming the weather is similar enough. So that, oh fuck, that section before was something else. I was able to do it all without crashing while going so fast. Unfortunately, had to end on that little corner, but it's okay. It is one of those tracks that it's mostly about keeping... Oh shit, the rain is here! Okay, you are right. Yes, that is correct. We have rain. Oh, I'm lightning as well, shit. The whole sky is falling here, okay. I see how it is. Huh. Yeah, you're right. Good call. Ooh, that was so close. I almost hit the side of the bridge so badly. That was extremely close. Thankfully this is enough to get all stars. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing great. Here comes the rain. I know. They didn't even wait a single event to do it. As soon as we started in Elements, we get the rain. Pretty cool. Also, is this a new track? I feel like I don't remember seeing this track before. I thought that the only new tracks were later on one of the following campaigns, but I think that these are new as well. Oh shit, pre-order edition, nice. I didn't know that. Oh, and they share the fame? That's interesting too. I mean, they are the same car, so it makes sense. So you actually have more than one car that are pre-order edition. And here it's already raining before the event even starts. How's the weather in Argentina? Well, it's... I don't know what's the word in English. I don't know if the word is template or... Well, basically, it's in the middle. It's neither too hot nor too... not too cold. What it is that it's very wet. Like, usually, well, it depends on where you live, that's the thing. Where I personally live, it is very wet. Like, there is a lot of humidity. Because when I say wet, I don't necessarily mean that it rains non-stop. It's rather that there is a lot of humidity in the air, which makes sense because we are pretty close to the ocean. But the thing about Argentina is that it's an extremely big country. So you essentially have completely different types of weathers all across the country. It depends on which place you ask. But yeah, here it's wet, basically. McLaren 12C, I didn't remember there was another McLaren, aside from the F1 and P1. So that looked very good. That track with the rain looked fantastic. I mean, anything that involves rain, usually in racing games, tends to be a big improvement. And it seems like this is no exception. And rain looks even better if you use the cockpit view. Just that I don't like the cockpit view, but if you use that, you will see how the rain falls off the windshield. I mean, I guess I could show it. Well, there is no rain now, so... Well, maybe it's gonna show up on the... Gonna show up in the middle of the race, most likely. It is essentially the first of the DLCs that makes a big change. So there is a drift face-off. This is 5 laps. You have quite a lot of time to get the lap time, though. Isn't this a very long track to have 5 laps? Like almost 2 minutes. It's like, not to mention with a car that is quite slow as well. Seems to be a drizzle actually. Oh, it is raining. Alright, hold up. Let me do the drift face off and I'll switch to cockpit camera for a little bit. Just to show you. That was bad. That was very bad. No. Okay, that was good enough. You know, all this asphalt crashing me, but it's fine. So, let me switch to cockpit. So here you can see the rain. Oh, and you also have the... well, whatever those things are called. Like the things that try to remove the raindrops. Okay, whatever that thing is called, you have that. Pretty cool, I gotta say, driving like this. In fact, it's kinda the idea of the game, mostly, to use this camera. You can tell that the raindrops have physics. Like, depending on how you steer, they move where you move. What you will see though is that, well, more than see, you will hear that the sound is less loud because it's supposed to be internal sound. At the same time, it's something that you can change. If you don't want to hear like the muffled sound from the inside, you can switch it in the options. This looks very pretty, honestly. Very, very pretty. Just that, to me, it's hard to drive like this. So I don't have too much context of where I am. It's not very easy, but it looks very good. If I was better at it, I would definitely use it all the time, but yeah, I'm just not very good. And this is one of the most normal cars where you could probably use this view, because there are some other cars that are a lot more messed up when it comes to how they look. This one is more or less a normal car, you know. You also have the rear view mirror. Not that easy to see, but I think that here won't be able to maintain the lead for too long if I keep like this. But it's a long race, so there is still time. So it really started to rain, without a doubt. It was like it was looking so sunny before, and now look at this shit. Insane. So you can hear the music more clearly when you have this cockpit view, without a doubt. But here you can also see exactly what my movements are. What my directional movements, I mean. When you have the other camera, you cannot really see exactly how I'm steering on the right or on the left. I'm surprised at the best. Well, no, I'm not surprised. I was about to say, I'm surprised that the best lap that I had was the first one, but considering that the first one is the only one that I didn't do with this camera, it makes sense. Now, something that I'm not really sure, and it's mostly because I'm using this camera, is if rain really changes the physics or not. Because it does feel like the track is a little bit more slippery, but I think it might be because of this camera that I'm just not used to it, you know. Damn, that looks so cool. I didn't even remember there were actual physics on the windshield. Like the raindrops. It's pretty cool. I think here the most surprising thing is just how long this race is. Like, this may be one of the longest races in the game so far. If not the longest, actually. I think it actually might be the longest. Oh, hello. We got someone. How are you doing, bro? You're gonna get overtaken. Don't get cocky. You're getting cocky now, but you will see when I get your ass. I'm not even driving at full power. So I think that the idea of this track is that it's long precisely because it shows you how it can start with a lot of sun and then slowly go to rain, to very like big rain, and then back to sun. I think that's the idea of this race. It essentially showcases the whole weather model. That's the reason why it has to be long. That's pretty cool. And we saw the majority of it from the cockpit, by the way. Pretty cool. I mean, I would like to play like this, but I'm just not used to it. And even if I was used to it, I feel like I prefer looking at the car more than I prefer looking at the windshield, you know? Okay. These two are very rough corners. This is where where the drift face-off happened. I already have someone that wants to overtake no matter what, huh? But you won't. You won't overtake. Nice. With something like this, you can just tell how nice this game can look. Like, this game can look so good when you're doing cockpit view, and imagine using a driving, like a racing wheel. It's probably gonna look even more fantastic. I mean, I don't have one, so I can't, but like the immersion, because obviously the driving of the game is not supposed to be a simulator, but just the immersion of feeling like you are there probably feels fantastic. What do we have here? A Caterham? A lot of stuff, actually. We'll use the Lotus, but it's like the Bentley is the best option, right? So unfortunately the Caterham, as much as I would like to use it, the top speed is very bad. I think I will go for the Bentley after all. Not with that color though. Though most of the colors you have, let's just go with the purple. Oh, and here we drive on the right side of the car. Actually, it would have been interesting to see how the rain looks in the Caterham, but unfortunately the Caterham here is not competitive at all compared to these other cars. So should I keep going with this camera? I don't think I should. But I guess for the time being, at least one lap. Because here, as you can see, one of the objectives is getting a lap time record, and I kinda doubt I can do that with this camera. You never know. Because on top of missing the contents of the whole corner and stuff, it's the fact that now that there is rain, it's very hard to look at what's in front of you, you know. The effect of the sun between the trees looks so nice. Also like that there is attention to detail when it comes to the amount of clouds as well. You can see that when there is a light rain, there are parts of the sky that are clear. But when it's a very strong rain like the one in the previous race, it downpours and you see all the clouds. Damn, I got the record. Maybe they made this record specifically bad so you could beat it with a Caterham in case you were masochistic enough to pick it. Not to mention that picking the Caterham here, you're also completely exposed to the rain, you know? You don't have a windshield to protect you. Doing these corners, those type of corners are the ones that are the most fucked up when you use the cockpit view. Ouch. What are you doing? Come on. So I just realized that in this game, in this car, the speed is measured in miles per hour. And that's something that depends on each car. So essentially that previous BMW like has that projection in the windshield. I thought that was a gameplay mechanic, but it seems like it was the actual car that had that. That's pretty cool. You see, here it's not like you can have a special speedometer that is part of the UI. Here you have whatever the car shows you, you know. I'm actually doing relatively well with this. Well, and considering that these cars are whatever, in the sense that I don't really care about being able to see them because they are, you know, they are cars that look nice, but not as nice as the exotic ones, right? But I think this Bentley is very exotic, yes, but it doesn't look the part, right? At least not compared to shit like Lamborghinis and company. Wow, that's so pretty. It's also pretty how I can see shit. Look at that. Fuck, I'm appreciating that so much that I'm not even paying attention to the track. Though it's also pretty hard to pay attention to the track, simply because of the water drops, the rain drops. You can essentially see that you are doing bad on the corners when those little arrows on the UI start showing up. Those arrows mean that there is a car nearby. And if there is a car nearby, it means that you are doing it very slow. Because normally they shouldn't even get, well, they can get close to you, and of course you can make mistakes, but yeah. Well, that went well. It went pretty well. And that was pretty cool as well. Wait, I'm the only... Okay, never mind. There is another one using the Continental here. Nice. That was cool. And then this other one is pretty much the same. Well, in fact, maybe this is the same track but in reverse. Oh, and I just realized that this... wait, that's Norway? A little bit weird to have a UK performance series and not even do it in the UK. Unless that Norway ship was like a foreign ship that was there to do commerce or something. I don't know. Could be. Oh shit. When you are behind someone, you can also see how much the windshield starts getting water. So obviously it's all the water that the cars in front are splashing on you. Pretty funny. Ah, shit. No. How long have I been off track there? It didn't seem like the game cared though. I don't think I got a penalty for off track. Oh, this tunnel. Well, at least with the tunnel you can see the raindrops disappear from the windshield. Oh, but the edge... okay. So I was gonna get blinded a lot more, but no, not really. Could have been worse. This is a very pretty looking bridge. Right, so we weren't able to get the lap record. I might need to switch the camera for the lap record though. No, if I keep doing it like this, if it's gonna be enough. Most likely not. Oof, that was close. Nice drift. Drifting in the rain. The most natural type of drift. Well, I guess that and drifting in the dirt. Damn, this guy. Why so aggressive? Maybe. Am I really braking so early? Is that what's happening? Ah, shit. Yes, that happened a lot of times. Like, I don't think the opponent cars are getting more aggressive. It's just that I'm braking a lot earlier than I could. If I don't get the lap record here, I'm switching camera for the next lap. So I need that record. It needs to happen, no matter what. Okay. Close. Oh, well, I guess a little bit too close. Come on. Oh, that should be the record, yeah. Nice. Not by much, but it was good enough. Oh, that was a jump. I guess that's the kind of thing that with the cockpit view is not that easy to appreciate, but I think that if you're going fast enough there, you actually end up jumping. That's so cool. Oh shit. Okay, that's fine. The hardest part here is being able to stay away from your opponents, really. So there is an interesting thing about this car, and it's that it has the gear switch on the racing wheel. It doesn't have a shift box. It has a... Well, maybe it does have a shift box, but the guy that is driving is using... You can see that he's moving his right hand when he upshifts to press a button in the racing wheel. Surprised that a car like this has that, but I guess it's one of those super luxury cars, so it has to have it. Now what is for sure is that it's a lot harder to get points when there is rain. I mean, when there is rain... Well, no, when there is rain, no. When I'm using cockpit, I meant to say. I'm using the cockpit view, considering that it's so easy to crash against everything, and more importantly, against other opponents. That definitely doesn't help. Ooh, that was a nice chicane, nice. Okay. Yeah, that was kinda cutting the corner, correct. It's very, very hard to do these corners properly, without a doubt. When there is a cockpit view. That'll work. Something that I guess it's not Well, I don't know if it's realistic or not, because not like I will be able to drive a car like this under these conditions in real life, but I think that when you're going on a straight, the fact that the wheel stays in place instead of moving because of the feedback of the car, I think that that's not very realistic. But maybe it is. What do I know? Oh, and I also got this thing into level 6. That was pretty cool. I mean, being able to do races well on that camera feels very rewarding. Now, I'm not gonna be doing drifting with this shit, I can tell you that. Oh, I can use the special thingies. We'll use this one, I guess. Drifting, I mean, I can try it, but doing drifting with a cockpit view is a horrible idea. It's not impossible, and I know more or less what to do, but probably gonna be a disaster. And this is one of the electric cars, so gonna be even more quiet than usual. But I'm gonna try though. Ah, shit. Wow, that went super well, holy shit. I did that better than I probably would have done with the chase camera. I'm surprised that didn't cancel the points for crashing. Very surprised. Damn, how am I doing this so well? It was about time to not do it well. I don't think it's enough for the target though. Or maybe it is. Was it? Oh, it barely wasn't. Alright. I'm gonna do this one without the cockpit view, because we gotta drift well. Though if it wasn't for the fact that it cancelled one of the drifts, I would have gotten it. It cancelled the score of one of the drifts. Okay, it seems that since it's raining, drifting is a lot easier than usual. Because essentially the car slips without much effort. And it usually slips in, you know, since it has no grip, it goes usually where you want it to go. That one is very hard to do. It's the same one that I lost the points on the previous attempt. Though at the same time here you can tell that the score difference is abysmal. And like I got 0 points on the exact same one, so it wasn't because of that. But yeah, I mean, it's obvious that I am gonna do better with the chase camera than with the cockpit camera. Okay, so here is a hot lap. Oh wait, now I can use the Pagani Sonda, really? But before it told me that I needed to have a certain club level to use this. So I guess I no longer need it. Well, that's great, because the Pagani Sonda is a fantastic car. Oh, and it's so exclusive, you cannot put any livery and you cannot change the factory color either. And that looks like a freak show from the inside. Since this is lap time, I gotta do this one like this. Like doing this with cockpit view is a very bad idea. I mean, it's already gonna be hard with this view, so you can imagine how it's gonna be without it. Oh, fuck. Though here, if you couldn't use the Sonda, it will be extremely, well, no, I don't know if extremely hard, but you will have a clear disadvantage against the Ghost, assuming one of them is the Sonda, because it wouldn't be the first time that they use a Sonda for it. I don't know why they let you use it, because it's not like it's something that, yeah, they let you use it because the servers are closed, so they are nice enough to let you use it. I mean, maybe it is like that, but the thing is that when I was doing the base when I was doing the base tour, it was blocked. Like, I couldn't use this one. If I'm not mistaken, this one requires either level 10 or level 15 of a club to use. But yeah, I guess you don't need it anymore then. I'm glad though, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to use it. I was pretty free. Maybe I could have done it with the cockpit, but nah. The thing about the cockpit, I mean, I keep repeating the same thing, but using the cockpit view, you don't have any context of your surroundings. So things like chicanes, for example, are extremely hard to do with the cockpit view, because you have no idea where to look at or where to go through, especially if there is rain and you have the windshield full of raindrops blocking your view. Okay, this is an Audi, and that's it. A regular ass Audi. Do I have special? No. What about this? It's a cool color. It would look better if it wasn't for the rain, but because here it looks pretty, like, darker than usual. Like, it will look a little bit brighter without, well, the whole cloudy thing, right? Well, and also another thing worth noting is that the reason why the cockpit view worked in the previous events is because I pretty much used them with cars that were not super fast. Well, this one is supposed to be around the same level of the Bentley, right? So this one also I shouldn't have problems if I decide to switch to cockpit view. I don't think I want to really. Well, not to mention that even though it's not extremely noticeable, you still have, like, you know, raindrops in your view here. It's just that since this view is so much different and the raindrops are obviously, like, out of focus, it's still very easy to see through it. The moment you're in cockpit, it's a different story, because it's like the raindrops are like Mario Kart's squid marks, like those that essentially don't let you see through. Because the thing about these raindrops on this camera is that they do let you see through, so it's not a problem whatsoever. So this, honestly, this looks fantastic regardless of the camera that you use. That's probably the place I needed to reach no, I can reach the speed objective here. I should be able to, at least. Yeah, I will. Yeah, it scared me a little bit when it upshifted to 6th gear. So it upshifted right when I was about to reach the objective. Well, here one thing that you can see better than with the cockpit view is the reflection of the sun in the asphalt, in the wet asphalt. Something that from cockpit view wasn't very noticeable at all. Yeah, that looks so nice. I think I'll never get tired of praising this game's graphics. It just looks so pretty. So absolutely pretty. I think that as nice as the cockpit effect looks like, I think that the general view just looks better when you are on chase camera. Because I mean, you can see a lot more details with this camera than you could with the other one. I wasn't cutting the track somehow. I'm glad. Nice how the light of the rear light of the car impacts on the camera. It's like the camera in itself is and it's even more noticeable when you brake. Pretty cool. Where are you going? What the hell? I didn't even push you there. I didn't even know why you went there. But you wanted to make a point. That you shouldn't drive when it's raining. Well, another thing that you can see with this camera is how brutal the rain is. Like in the cockpit view, I mean, you can tell that there are a lot of raindrops in the windshield, so you can assume that the rain is very strong. But here the rain looks like very strong. Like you can really see how much it's falling down. And it's pretty hard to see here. This is a very dangerous combination. Having rain and at the same time be completely in the dark. The corner penalty. Well, I think in the previous lap it was a collision penalty instead, right? Like we're getting one penalty or another. So my real issue here is how am I gonna get the lap record? Because I will be struggling quite a bit. I guess as long as I don't get that penalty in the corner that I always get one, I should be more than fine, probably. But hopefully. It's also extremely hard to tell where you're going here. Let's just say that the visibility doesn't help at all. Alright, so the corner that I messed up is about to appear here, right? I should go more to the left side of the track. Well, not that much to the left. Yeah, this one. Tim, but that corner is a safety hazard, without a doubt. How the fuck do you do that corner without... Well, I guess you need to brake, but... It's like it feels like... It's also hard to find which is the right spot to brake. So unfortunately here it's gonna go down to the final lap in order to get the time objective. I don't really care about the position because I'm gonna win regardless, and the objective here is only getting the 3rd place, and the objective for the tournament is most likely fulfilled regardless of what I do, so I don't really care about that, but I do care about that lap time. That seems that, well, it's the last chance to get it, otherwise I will have to retry the race, though in a tournament, since I never did it so far, I don't know if you can restart a race, an individual race, without restarting the whole thing. I hope that you can restart an individual race. It will be a pain in the ass otherwise. Right, at least the good thing here is that I can see the track better because it's starting to show the morning here. Right, so here I'm gonna brake, I guess. Yeah, you gotta brake there. I mean, you're either gonna brake on your own or the wall is gonna make you brake. It's one or the other. You get to choose. Alright. I think that should be way more than enough to get the lap record. Yeah, it is. By quite a lot. It was a matter of not messing up that corner. Well, the one that got messed up is the car. Poor little guy. He did his best though. Alright. And also got to level 5, so I got the paint shops. Alright. And what else do we have? With the Masanti. Alright. Oh, it's gonna be against other cars. So it seems that color... Yeah, this is the best color this thing has. Like, it's one of the most original colors in the game. Because most of the factory colors for other cars are essentially black, white, red, blue, gray, and maybe yellow. Like, there aren't that many cars that get away from those options, but this one is a very nice color. So, fuck me. I wanted to see how this thing looks from the cockpit. It looks exotic. Okay, no, let's not do that. Well, you can see how it looks on the cockpit in the cutscene at the beginning that shows you entering the car. But yeah, unfortunately, this car doesn't seem like it's very easy to control. And to make things worse, there is the wet asphalt. That I'm pretty sure that it's not just decoration. Like, there are physics that involve the car being more slippery on rain, without a doubt. There's gonna be a problem to handle that. But I think here the real problem is... Oh, okay, okay, that's how to say. There is an objective that tells you to reach 238 kilometers per hour. That's... Yeah, you get it where I got it, but... Very dangerous on a track like this to have an objective like that. Very, very dangerous. The corner exit on a lot of these corners is very hard to do. Very, very hard. When I just realized that the remaining objective is getting first place. But I should be able to. I like the way the lightning looks. It's pretty nice. Wish you could hear it though. Well, maybe you can hear it, but compared to every other sound, it's very, very hard to actually identify it. Don't mind me. Shit. At least I'm on the lead and instead like quite a lot. There is another camera that I also wanted to check, which is the one that is on like the front side, but I don't think it's a good idea to try it here. I can very easily lose my lead, and the lead is required to get the remaining star. Now this is essentially, like, if back then you didn't get the season pass of this game and you had to purchase DLCs individually, this is definitely one of the ones that is worth it the most. Though at the same time, it's not like the rain gets unlocked with this DLC. I'm pretty sure that they added the rain as a mechanic in a general update, right? Like dynamic weather. It's not like you needed to pay for it. But when it comes to the tour, this is the first tour that actually makes use of the rain, most likely because it's the one where it also got the dynamic weather update. So in that regard, it probably is the best tour to get if you can only get them individually. Because essentially every single race involves rain. It's the most unique one so far out of all of them. Do I have a special? I do. We can paint it like that. Really like that even when you enter you can see the raindrops. And here this one is called Slip Road. I guess as a reference to, I don't know, Silk Road? Maybe not. Amazing start. But I should restart that, but you never know. Like that final drift zone, it could have been good enough. It wasn't. No, put restart. Yeah, that's what I want you to do. Restart. Unfortunately, very little drift there. Unfortunately. Was that enough? Oh, it was nice. And it was only enough because I decided to keep the drift all the way to the end. And the AI is struggling to get off the wall. My bad AI. Venom Hot Lab 2? Oh, fuck. This is part 2 of that one challenge that was in the main tour, and this was pretty hard to do, unfortunately. Like, this was essentially the hardest event in the game so far. I don't think there was a hardest one, and this one is the second one. It comes back. It has... Oh, and it's gonna be in the same track, actually. It's in the exact same track, but this time with rain. I wonder if the times are different. I mean, I gotta assume they are different, probably. Then that's... Like, this one might take a while. One might actually take a while. Not to mention that it's also nighttime. So yeah, good luck with that. Shima, oh, that corner exit. Ooh, that was super close, guys. What could have happened there, well, unfortunately the final corner I did it badly, but I could have done a corner cut and got penalized, but it didn't happen. Though that seems pretty free in comparison, at least to the original challenge. It seems like this guy loses a lot of speed in places where I don't lose the speed. I went too wide in there. Damn it. It's gonna be hard to get another attempt like the previous one. So it's also the same thing that happened once with me here. That final corner I messed it up, and if it wasn't for that I would have won. It's a very common thing. Not gonna happen like this. Maybe we will be here for a long time after all. God damn it. Why did you have to bring this one back? I don't think anyone wanted to see this challenge again. I think that we were fine without it. They're very able to, like, technically make it harder by putting it in rain. Very, very messed up. Not to mention, I don't like this car. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way it drives. I don't like its name. I don't like anything about this car. So that doesn't help an event that is already hard. Wow, that's still unbelievable that I could do that without getting penalized in that other attempt. Absolutely crazy. Here, there is a lot of... was a skip. There is a lot of trajectories here that you could do by drifting. That's something that I'm not really taking advantage of, is the drifting in the water. I didn't remember that corner. Was it always there? Or did they add it for this attempt? Would be interesting. It seems that my past self also did that better. What? I put restart in there. What do you mean continue? This will take its time. Hey, it's okay. You don't need to be clean to get the lap time. I mean, as long as you don't gain a penalty, you are fine. I mean, obviously going off track will make your car go slower, but yeah. I keep missing a lot of distance there. It's like my ghost did something that I cannot replicate in that zone. What a pain in the ass, dude. Hot laps should be forbidden. Just remove hot laps from the tours. I mean, even if they are free, I feel like they are also not interesting at all, because I mean, if they are free, essentially what you do is a single lap and that's it. And if they are not free, you just have to keep retrying over and over for the slightest mistake. That corner sucks so much. Unfortunately, that was fully on the off track. Well, that's a PB, but I don't give a shit about a PB. I need to win. Okay, so that corner, it seems that I should do it slow no matter what. Even my PV does it slow. I think more than anything is that the AI does the beginning way too, like all the starting section, it does it extremely fast. Yeah, unfortunately, that corner, if you do it from that angle, you exit the chicane fast, but the next corner you are not gonna do it fast. The next corner is gonna be very, very slow. This is the reason why the very first attempt I failed the way I failed. was a penalty. That corner, I don't understand how the AI does it. Well, the AI. I don't even know if this is supposed to be an AI. This is most likely something that a developer did. Usually these goals tend to be developer times. But not necessarily a developer, but it could be like someone on the beta testing team. Since here you also need times that are not very good to put like all of the different stars. What the hell? How did you lose? Like, stop inventing. How did you lose control like that? You're making physics up right now. They have no idea how you lost control. Not even that is better than what I do, or better than what the ghost does. I'm just very confused. Like, that whole initial section is so unintuitive on how to engage with it. Here I probably should reset though. A corner, though ironically even with that corner penalty, that I can still, well, not, yeah, that penalty was excessive. Well, excessive, no, it was understandable with the amount of time I cut, but it's enough that it's not worth to do. What can we do? I hope that there is not a ban on Hot Lap 3. As you know that when these assholes get comfortable with something, when a developer thinks of a running show, they keep using it until, you know, until exhaustion. So here the fact that they decided to do a rerun of this event, probably knowing how hard it is, it's basically something that could repeat itself. Like, we could see a ban on Hot Lap 3 and I don't wanna see it. I don't know what other condition it could be. I don't think it could have any other condition, guys. I don't think it can snow in this game outside of tracks that already have snow, of course. At this rate, this is gonna take the remnant of the stream to it. Really will. Can you imagine how hard it will be with cockpit? It will be something. I don't even understand why I cannot even do that faster than my ghost, no matter how many attempts I do. Like, this honestly feels so inconsistent. You do something, sometimes it goes well, some other times it doesn't go well. Like, the lack of consistency is fucked up. It makes sense since it's rain. So you're not supposed to be consistent in the rain, but it's just a fucking pain in the ass, dude. And the fact that they actually really wanted to go for a hard time as well is being an asshole. It's a hard car to drive and a hard track as well, with a hard condition in this case that it's the rain. Okay. It'd be nice if you could see where the ghost breaks, but you cannot really see the rear lights of the ghost. Well, or any lights for that matter. Okay. Into the chicane. Almost skipped over it. Please tell me that's good enough. It wasn't the best corner exit, but it is good enough. Yes. Nice. Oof. What a pain in the ass. I mean, most of the challenge was on the second corner at the beginning. That's the one thing that is very hard to do properly, but goddamn. Don't put that challenge here again. Ooh, and here you can pick between a lot of things, huh? Camper... I could use that. Yeah, why not, right? And you can have different colors. Oh, the blue one looks pretty nice. That one looks nice. Well, honestly, the car itself looks nice. Oh, wait, that one actually... The original one has a... like a specific stripe in the middle. I think that otherwise doesn't show up in the other colors. It seems that using that one is the thing that makes the most sense. Alright. I don't think this should be a problem. We will see. Oh, and the wind is blowing sideways. I wonder if that also adds into the physics. By the way, this is an extremely cheesy name for a car. Apollo Enrage. Why is he enraged? Who made him angry? Oh, that wasn't a corner skip somehow. The one in first place is a Sonda. Also, is this car a base car or is it DLC? I have a feeling that I remember when I level up that I unlocked this. Okay, I feel like I remember seeing it in the unlock screen, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I also think that this track is new from the DLC. Because I don't remember it showing up in the previous tours. Like this one with the bridges. I think it's completely new. Oh, the rain here is going quite wild. Very wild. Extremely wild even. That's what you can expect from this. That's what this tour is all about. Supposed to be constant rains over and over again. It was out time, it gave me the corner penalty there. I feel like that one penalty was a little bit exaggerated. Not like I saved that much time from cutting the corner. I don't know exactly why, but it's that most of these engines are very quiet, right? I just hear, or maybe it's just that I hear the music louder for some reason. Yeah, maybe it's just that these engines are not very loud and that's it. So this poor... I think I understand why this Apollo is enraged. When you treat it this badly, you have all these scars. Yeah, I will be enraged too. I mean, essentially, all the glasses are completely shattered. I wonder how the glass in the front looks like the windshield. No, the windshield. Though that's the thing. I think that some of the windshields can actually get cracked if you crash against something too fast. So my question there is, how can you even see in cockpit view what's in front of you with the windshield crack? Unless it purposely cannot crack so you can, you know, see everything properly. I don't know. Hard to tell. This cave looks so cool. Also, this is a track that is progress based, so that means that the phase of challenge you can only do it once. So you have to beat it on the first and only try you're gonna get it. The first and last try. So at the same time, if the game allows you to restart the race, it shouldn't be a problem. I don't know if it lets you or not. Ouch. Oh, and this is snow, right? It's supposed to be, well, hard to tell. You assume that it's snow because of the fact that we are in a snow mountain, but I actually, well, I don't know what the cockpit view has to say. I mean, it kinda looks like water. Ah shit, my bad. It's just that I wanted to see what was in there. My average speed face-off. Well, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Surely. Promise that it's the average speed when you're doing the... Ooh, that was very low. When you're doing the hairpins, it's essentially the slowest... no, not like this, no. Oh. No, I didn't mean to hit the share button. No, get out. Get out. I guess to reset the car, you're supposed to hit the touchpad. The touchpad is pretty close to the share button. My bad. And unfortunately, that won't be enough. So if I restart... since this is the first time that I restart a race inside a championship, you can actually restart the individual round, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a championship in the first place. But, you know, I can't believe I got into that accident, though. Just that these cars at slow speed are not very good. They are not meant to go slow. So the moment they go through a slow corner, it kinda gets fucked. So pretty funny to have the share button when I'm just streaming this on my own. But that's assuming you don't have a computer. I mean, most people just have a console and that's it. So I guess that's useful for them. In my case, I use a capture card that is connected to my computer. I essentially use OBS to capture the window of the capture card software. And it works very well, thankfully. So let's see if this time... But I need to do the face-off again. That's one thing that happens when you restart. It's not that... Any star that you got is not gonna be remembered. It's going pretty fast for the current condition of the race. That we are going a little bit too fast. It's as I say, when these things go slow, they really suck. And unfortunately, they failed that. Oh, come on, dude. Sorry, I got a little bit irritated there. But yeah, these cars at low speeds are fucking trash. I'm gonna tell you that whenever we get to the Lamborghini Tour, every single time that I'm allowed to pick a Lamborghini, I'm gonna pick a Lamborghini. I just will. Is this with the Lambo that I use in the main campaign, this shit wouldn't be happening. I mean, I will switch it, but the problem is that I'm on the second race, so we'll have to retry the first one. Though, depending on how many times I need to retry this, it might even be a better idea to simply retry this with a better car. Now this tour is called Elements, and there is a Lamborghini in this game called Sexto Elemento, which means the sixth element. I guess they wanted to save it for the actual Lamborghini tour, but it's a wasted opportunity if you ask me. It's certainly a wasted opportunity. Alright, so the problem here, I failed the face-off because my car started drifting a little bit. I think at the exit of the first hairpin. Oh, well, it's also because I hit the side of the bridge. That didn't help either. Right. That time it worked. Well, I mean, it worked the first time. So, I lost the first attempt because of this. Like, here I drift a little bit too much. And I can't believe for that little thing, all the time that I had to waste. Unbelievable. It's whatever. It happens. It just happens. Damn, and all the... Well, except for one of them, all the Gamperts on the top of the results. Alright. And this one is leading the race. Well, thankfully that objective is pretty much the easiest one you can have. The only way you wouldn't be able to do that is if you have a car that is clearly inferior than your competitors. But in this case, this car is supposed to be the best one that the opponents can pick up. And since the Lamborghini is not supposed to be a car that you're supposed to have at this point of the game, because it's a DLC that came later, they don't use it. But that one is clearly the best car that you can have here. Any Lambo is a good Lambo. It's something that you gotta remember. Anytime you have the chance to pick a Lambo, pick a Lambo. So very messed up how without the DLC, the game doesn't have a single Lamborghini in the base roster. The Lamborghini is only a thing if you purchase the DLC. Quite messed up, because it's like one of the best things about the game is that it has so many Lambos and a lot of them are very cool. Oh. He couldn't actually overtake me. I thought like he would overtake me for a little bit, but no, he didn't. This car... Can you... You can only reset to track when you are going extremely slow. Even if you are back turned, if you are not going slow enough, it won't give you the option to do it. Even if you are pressing the touchpad, it just doesn't let you. You have to be essentially slow down to a crawl. Well, and speaking of slow down to a crawl, pretty nice how the AI is kind enough to wait for you. As you will expect, this game is mostly, you know, based on spectacle, which means that if you fall far behind like that, the AI will wait for you. Once you get closer, they will go back to their regular behavior, but if you are pretty far, they will wait. You are in dead last. I mean, otherwise there will be no way to come back. And since it's supposed to be an arcade racing game, and this is very hard to see right now. I don't even want to imagine, like, something I wasn't really thinking about is how bad the bitrate probably is right now. Because you know that the game is running at 30 frames per second, so that means that it doesn't require that much bitrate to look good compared to if it was running at 60, but I still, with the amount of particles right now, I very heavily doubt that this is looking good. I cannot see shit. If you can see shit, don't worry, I can't see shit either. In fact, if I take the lead, that will be very dangerous. I feel like here I'm doing relatively good precisely because I can follow someone, but Without having anyone to follow, I actually have to pay attention to the minimap on the bottom left while I drive at the same time. And can you imagine doing this with cockpit on top of it? That will surely be a good idea. I mean, I really like the way the effect looks. It almost feels like you're being transported into a different dimension with like how the particles look right here. Alright, well, someone overtook me, so now I can follow someone else, but the issue is that I don't think I'm winning this race. I don't need to though. The objective is top 3 and I already got the objective for leading the race for a minute and a half, so the only thing that I need is to get to the end on the podium, of course, at the very least. I don't think the second place is a problem, but then this has easily been the hardest visibility in like so far. It has been the hardest one to see where you're going. Obviously the hardest event is still the Venom hot lap, but the thing is that this one is, that's not gonna be a win, but it's still enough for the star, and it obviously will be enough for the other stars as well. Yeah. See, essentially for the championship you need 35 points that you will have to do pretty badly to not get. I unlock the Berlinetta. Didn't I already have this one though? I have a feeling that I could pick it, right? I don't know. We got a skin for the Evantra, okay. Cool. So, next one being Apex. So, I don't think we will be able to do Sakura today like I thought yesterday. But it's okay. So this one is called Apex, and this is the race that introduced the Enzo Ferrari. Well, I wanna use the red variant, but wanted to see the other colors. So the Enzo Ferrari is supposed to be like a super classic car. But yeah, this is the one tour that introduces it. I need to finish ahead of Kyla Jones, and that's it. Huh. That sounds pretty good. Okay, see, now we're talking. What I was saying earlier about the engines in the previous tour not sounding pretty nice, well, this one sounds very nice, without a doubt. Now the question is, how common is the rain gonna be from now on? I have no clue. Essentially, once something gets implemented, it will obviously get used afterwards, but the question is, how much is it gonna get used afterwards? And the same thing I wonder about the next tour, because the next tour essentially introduces Japan as a new collection of tracks. But the thing is, will it be used after the tour? Because theoretically, by purchasing the pack that comes with the tour, you also get Japan as a track. But what happens if you didn't purchase it, but you purchased the DLCs that came afterwards? will they have Chopin since you technically don't have it? I don't know. Unless it came, like the track itself came as a free update. I don't think it did though. At the same time though, maybe my memory is trash, but I feel like a lot of these tracks are new. They are variants of the existing places, but that I haven't raced on before. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but just that it's also hard to remember every single variant that the game has, you know. Quite hard. I think that I could blame the Venom hot lap for, you know, taking me so long to beat it as the reason for not being able to do 3 tours today, but there are also a lot of races here that they definitely increase the number of laps that these races have in average, so I think it has to do with that as well. Like, the events are on average longer, on top of also having the typical event that can be a pain in the ass to beat. Nice. I gotta say that the handling of this car is very good. Though it's hard to tell, because you know that I talk a lot of shit about the Apollo and Rage, but I think that it's because of the rain that it didn't feel that good to drive. I wonder how this one will behave in the rain. In fact, I wonder how the Lamborghinis will behave in the rain. I don't know. But this was absolutely free though. So what is the theme of this tour? I wonder. Because it's called Apex. Apex as something that is supposed to be something's peak. So, I mean, all of these cars are pretty good, don't get me wrong, but like, what do they all have in common? I wouldn't be very sure what it is. I mean, after all, you could... all of the super and hyper cars in this game, you could say that they are peak. You know? They are the apex of their respective model lines. This is called Snow Drift. We're not really drifting in the snow, it's still the asphalt. As the game doesn't have snow physics. Wow. Hey, don't worry, that's what I meant to do clearly. Obviously. These drift challenges should not be very hard to do at all. Yeah, these drift challenges are not a problem. Got him. Absolutely free. I got the level 2 for that Chevrolet. Though that Chevrolet is essentially the same one as another one that I used before, but apparently that's a special edition. Speaking of special... Wait, this one has cars? Nice. It does have cars. Oh, and this is the only factory color you're allowed to use. What color is this? Is this what you call indigo? Or am I confusing it with a completely different color? Apex Predator. An Apex Predator is supposed to be the animal that is at the top of the food chain. So for example, I'm pretty sure, wow, I already have the car in these conditions then. I guess it's not that much of a predator. It's more like the prey, like my prey. I was about to say, I think for example the lion is an apex predator, but I might be wrong, I don't know. I'm not a biologist. It obviously depends on the ecosystem. Like an animal that might be a predator, an apex predator in an ecosystem might not be one in another one. Wow, that was quite a skip, holy shit. I mean, ideally I should have restarted this the first time that I crashed. But I want to keep going because since it's supposed to be a long trail, I think that it's most likely gonna allow you to do a lot of mistakes, including the ones I did and the ones that I'm probably about to do as well. I don't think there's any need to retry. Like, it's not like the Venom Hot Lab. Like, that one seems like will be the hardest event so far. But and we actually, with the Venom Hot Lab 2, we actually have a new hardest one. Because at the beginning, after that first attempt, after taking the chicane so fast, I thought to myself, hey, this is gonna be free, but no, it wasn't. So yeah, that one so far is the hardest event in the game. Venom Hot Lab 2, followed by Venom Hot Lab. So yeah, what do we have here? A McLaren. Okay, supposed to be like the supercar version of the one that is in the hypercar category, and here it's raining. I think this is the first event after elements that... Oh, but that's... Okay, this one could be hard too. But this is a very short lap. And when there is a very short lap, they don't tend you to give you that much room for error, as you already seen in the Venom Hot Lab. And this one is even shorter than that, so I don't know what to expect. Okay, and the fact that it's raining makes the stability of the car not ideal. game. That was a very good collection of corners. Not that the corners are good, but rather that I did very good on them. In first try. Alright, never mind. I guess it will be free. Especially considering the mistakes that I had at the beginning. It's like they didn't really bother doing that chicane section that fast with the ghost. Oh, and we're going with the Caterham. And the good thing here is that you get to pick the Caterham because there is no other choice, you know? Like, if this thing was competing with other cars, you probably wouldn't want to pick it. Wait. Yeah, unfortunately, this is the only color that has the stripe and the Caterham thingy on the side. That's a shame with these cars, that they don't have those details with other colors. Yeah, I finally get to use the Caterham. I'm glad. Well, this Caterham. Because the other Caterham that looks like a mini LMP, that one I already used it. Unfortunately, this is the kind of car that unless it's competing against itself, just like that Renault that has amazing downforce, unfortunately, unless you're competing against the same car, I think that you're not winning simply for the lack of top speed. This is a game that has very long straights. That means that top speed is very relevant. In this game, it's like almost every track is Le Mans, you know? Le Mans is a track that has an extremely long straight. So if you don't have a car with good top speed, it's like you're not gonna win, no matter what you do. Keep crashing against that. I really wonder how the cockpit view with this car looks when it's raining. I will assume that the effect is probably similar on the chase camera, that the raindrops are kind of like unfocused and you can kind of see through. You probably don't want to use a car like this under the rain. I mean, obviously here if you go to cockpit view, oh, it actually shows it with the helm on. It's pretty funny. No, okay. Forget about this camera. We're not gonna be using that. Don't think it's a good idea. With the helm, it makes it look like, you know, like you're in the middle of a cave or something. Okay. These cornering face-offs lately seem to be very precise. Like, if you miss the racing line by a little bit, it will essentially not be enough to do much. So is this the DLC pack where the Caterham is introduced? Oh, it's also reaching the red line, by the way. Look at that. Like, it maxes out the speed. Like, it cannot go any faster than that. And that's essentially the worst thing about this car. Like, that's the max speed. It cannot go any faster than that. And it's supposed to make up for it with acceleration, but the cars that it competes against are pretty much, you know, like, they don't have bad acceleration at all. It's a little bit weird in that regard. Not to mention, shouldn't that make the engine blow up? You're constantly hitting the red line. That cannot be very good for your engine. I guess you're constantly getting close to hitting it, but like, you never end up doing it, I guess. Well, see, an event like this should have been in the red line event, you know, the red line tour. One of the first tours is called Red Line, and yet it didn't. It had very little to do with the actual red line, but doing something like that with this car will make a lot of sense. I just think that these cars with 2 seats look so dumb that it's even endearing on its own, kinda. I don't know what's the point of that. But who cares? It looks goofy. That's what matters. Well, I'm about to be level 40. In theory, the max level in this game is level 50. I don't know if I will be able to reach it, but it will be nice. Okay, so we have the Centennial edition of this thing. Kind of wanted to pick that gray that I passed. Yeah, this one. One looks cool. And I think that what I noticed here is that, you know how I mentioned that Renault, Mercedes, and BMW have a lot of cars that look alike in this game, but that's also the case, for example, with this Corvette. Like, it's not that you have many cars that look alike, it's that you have the exact same car just with a slight different variation. You still have a Corvette, just that this Corvette is the Centennial edition, whatever that means and whatever that implies. But like the regular Corvette is still a car in the game, you know. Yeah, that was bound to happen. Taking these chicanes with the rain like this is quite a problem. If I could have kept that drift until the very end of the corner, that would have looked so cool. I couldn't. I gotta say, I really like the way this Corvette looks. Well, regardless of the Corvette version that this game has, they all look very good. I think that this is one of those successful attempts at making a classic car look like the classic car, but also look modern as well. Because the front part of the car looks extremely modern, but the rear also looks kind of exactly the same as the classic Corvette from like the 90s. Yeah, this is a very well done design. I feel like there are a lot of other cars that just get uglier with every new version. I think that the best example I have is Nissan. Every new Nissan looks, at least to me, so ugly compared to the ones that were in the 90s. Was an interesting ending. Hey, don't worry about it. Also, that was extremely free. I got it by what, 7 full seconds? Wait, I unlocked this? So I didn't have it before? Well, there's something that doesn't add up. Why was I able to use it in that DLC then? Maybe that DLC makes every car available regardless of if you have it or not. Or maybe every DLC is like that, like you can use whatever car you want and the game is not gonna care. It could be like that. Wait, what is this? It's okay. I mean, last time I used the modern McLaren, so I'm gonna use the classic one now. When I had the choice. Mostly because even if the modern McLaren has the KERS and the DRS, apparently the classic model can, do just as good. So I'll use it, or at least try. Oh, it's this track. Yeah, this track in the middle of the night is a little bit dangerous, isn't it? Especially that part. Oh, but it's okay. At least it's the variant where you can keep going forward. That means that after the chicane you don't have to worry about like stopping the car, like you can just keep going forward. That's pretty nice. Now the question here is if the AI with the McLaren P1 will go a lot faster than me or not. Because when I used the P1 and the AI was using the F1, they were actually going pretty fast. Like they could actually keep up with me, even though theoretically they probably shouldn't, but it seems that I really underestimated this car. Even without DRS and KERS, it can do very well. Essentially, after the chicane, you keep going full speed. The only problem is if your car ends up exiting the chicane looking at one of the sides instead of looking forward, right? That could be a problem. I like how it's getting... we're getting daytime here. Always pretty nice to see it. Got a little bit... the front looks a little bit hit, but it should be fine. Also, in case there was any doubt that this car could compete, the second place is so far behind that it's a little bit crazy. So yes, it can certainly compete. Can very obviously compete. Now my question is why this car, you cannot change the factory color, even though in Need for Speed 2 you could do that, I'm pretty sure, right? Could you change the color of the... Yeah, you could. You could pick the car, obviously, but once you pick the car, I think the car had multiple options for the colors, right? Like, I remember this car... Well, even if you didn't have multiple options, the default color for the McLaren F1 was gray, well, or silver, or whatever. So I don't know why that one is not allowed here. So you have custom decals available, so if you really want to paint it that color, you can do it with no issues. It was bound to happen. If you really want to, you can paint it, but it's just weird that it's not an option available by default, right? Huh. I almost lost control multiple times there. I lost control there. Yeah, that was, I think, even more than 3. Calling it 3 is an understatement. Pretty crazy how many seconds? 6 seconds. That's quite a lot considering that this is supposed to be an inferior car. And also the shower ate a lot of shit right there. Seems like the shower was definitely not the right choice. But then again, why would you pick a shower when you can pick the McLaren, you know? Why would you not want to pick the McLaren? And yesterday we were talking about, you know, Mercedes and if Mercedes as a brand had fans. And yeah, definitely because it's quite popular, but what about shower? I don't think shower is even that popular of a brand in the first place. I mean, it probably has fans that are very dedicated or whatever. I think that it's definitely not very known, at least not compared to McLaren. So speaking of the shower, the one that is in first place right now is a shower. So the question is, how long can it keep that lead? Because the thing is that you could probably have the excuse that in the previous race all of the shower ended up in last place because the starting grid didn't favor them. But here you could see that guy in first place at the beginning, so if at the end of the race we see all the showers in the last places again, we essentially gotta conclude that Jaguar is shit tier. At least compared to McLaren. There's a long time for that, I guess. It's a relatively long track. Okay. And I get the lap time on the first attempt. Really seems like the difficulty of some of these events is quite low compared to some other ones. So I would say that this tour in general, compared to Elements, is very easy. Though I think that makes sense considering that Elements exclusively focuses on rain, and I think that anything that has rain is gonna be harder by default. Most likely. There's also the fact that as long as you don't have something like the Venom Hot Lab, you're not gonna have an overly hard event. I really hope we don't have another one like that. I mean, at least if you're gonna have a Hot Lab, well, you already have a Hot Lab in this tour with the McLaren, so there's that. It's also a pretty nice car to drive. It has the differently from the P1, since you don't have a KERS or DRS, you can just worry about driving and that's it. But it seems that it is indeed very good, because this distance that I'm getting with my opponents is insane. I don't know exactly why. It's just overly a very good car and that's it. I'm also seeing that by looking in the minimap, some of these guys are having accidents. It might be related to that too, I don't know. But the question here is, where are the Jaguars gonna end up in the final standings? What are we looking at? Well, okay, one Jaguar managed to not finish on the last place. Is nice. I think that wasn't very good looking for Jaguar. I bet Jaguar regrets accepting putting their cars in this game. Well, it is what it is. McLaren Showdown, didn't we already have one of these? Oh, but here instead of facing off the F1 and P1, you have the ones in the super category. Well, I'm gonna pick the pre-order edition. Of course. So there were multiple cars in the pre-order. Wasn't one or two, but it seems like there were multiple. Well, that's cool. Now, this is a new objective. Bid cornering face-off of 2,100, it says, right? Oh, never mind. It's not a new objective then. Hey, that was just the amount of points. Just that it usually doesn't say the amount of points. Or maybe it does and I'm more. Hard to tell. When we are in this track. Now, I gotta assume that it's a shorter version than the Venom Hot Lap, because I mean, 51 seconds is... Yeah, it's definitely a shorter version. Okay. Unfortunately, I already started badly on the face-off. We have 4 laps, so it's not an issue. We have a lot of attempts to do. 51 seconds then. So far, not a single objective. It's okay, it will come with time. Hopefully. Okay, so this one starts on the left side. It's hard to tell when you're going that fast. You cannot really see well where the line is. Okay, that's enough for the cornering face-off. Essentially, the thing remaining here is the lap record and winning. Winning is something that I was planning to do anyways. You know, the lap time is not a problem either. That one thing that I remember a lot when I used to play this game on release is that I remember seeing the arrows that show up when someone is approaching you. I remember seeing that a lot, but it's that I'm not really seeing it that often anymore. I guess at the end of the day, I'm playing better than how I was playing on release, probably. So pretty fancy rear wing that this thing has. When you brake, it races, so makes the car stop more easily. I wonder why not more cars do that. I guess the idea is that you want the least amount of moving parts possible, at least on the outside of the car. It seems quite useful. Okay. That was pretty easy. Quite easy, in fact. With the pre-order edition. It would be nice to see a list of them. Okay, what did I unlock? Oh, an accolade sticker. When you reach halfway through an accolade, you unlock a sticker that you can use in a custom decal, I guess. Drift Master, yeah, that's gonna be free. It seems that we are gonna be finishing this one like a lot faster than the previous tour. Which means that we could probably play a couple of events from the Japanese tour. Wow, amazing start. Come on, Caterham, what are you doing? That corner penalty completely negated all the points I did. Yeah, but see, the problem is that it's very hard to not go off track in that corner. I thought this was gonna be free, but maybe it's not gonna be that free after all. I don't know what's the outer limit. Like the inner limit is very clear, but the outer one not so much. Unless it's the wall. It's like there is something else before the wall that will count as a limit. Okay. Nice, that final drift was good enough, but this one was a relatively hard challenge, all things considered. At least compared to the other drift challenges. And then look, nice pun. Well, I could change the color of this thing. I mean, at least it's nice that it allows you to change the color. Let's paint it all black. It is supposed to be a hot lap. Well, hopefully it's not like the Venom hot lap, but it has the potential to be a pain in the ass if it really wants to. That penalty might need to make me reset. Oh, I'm surprised that wasn't a penalty. It seems that the penalty is very generous. There are so many things that should be a penalty and are not. On the right side, the Enzo Ferrari is a good car to drive, so if there is any issue here, it shouldn't be with the car. I could blame, for example, the track instead. There are so many things I could blame. Now, it is a very interesting ending. It's essentially a glorified straight line. So at that point, essentially on the second to last corner, if you are behind the ghost, you already know that you're not gonna get it, no matter what. There goes my ghost. I think that simply by doing that corner properly, it might be enough to actually win. I could be wrong. I don't know. actually here, yeah, unfortunately the corner exit was worse. The only thing that could save me is to do this faster than him, but I mean, we both do it full speed, so unfortunately also not enough. But that's the thing, after such an insanely long straight, you really, really need a good corner exit. If you don't have a good corner exit, you are... Like the time loss is insane. That time I did that corner like in the first attempt, that was clearly the fastest that I did that corner, so... Okay. Essentially, the one thing to look out for is the final corner. That is the second to last corner, but essentially the final corner that matters when it comes to braking. Yeah, that wasn't a good corner exit either, but since I have more of an advantage now, I think that's enough to win. That's nice. It still was a bad corner exit. I got carried by doing the rest of the track better. Essentially. Nice. Well, shame for that track impact at the end, as it actually removes the points from what you can get at the end. It's fine. Alright. So now on to the championship. What am I gonna be allowed to use? Those two, the Enzo or the shower? Is that the shower? It is the shower. Why the fuck would I want to pick the shower, dude? Come on. Get real. And pick another color. I could pick the yellow one. I think I remember it was most likely Need for Speed that I think that you could drive a Ferrari and you could pick yellow as a color. It doesn't look very fancy, but I don't see why not. Why would I pick the shower? Yes, I get it. The shower has the cares, but who cares? That was a pretty bad show, I gotta say. But it's fine. As long as we get to shit on the shower, it's fine by me. So hey, maybe here I'm about to be proven wrong, and maybe I cannot win this without picking the shower. I kinda doubt it, considering there is only two options. If there were more, it could be a different story, but with two options it should be close enough so you can win them. You can win it with either one, most likely. No, it's the Enzo is more than enough to win this. The thing about the shower is that on top of being a brand that at least compared to Ferrari or McLaren, is something that, you know, doesn't have the name, the popularity of the name, but also it looks so ugly. Because at least you could be a not known, well, I mean, it is a known brand, but it could be not as popular as the other two. But at least if you look pretty, well, there will be more of a reason to pick you. I think that shower looks so ugly, especially when you put it against the Enzo Ferrari, you know. It's obviously gonna be a lot uglier. And the good thing is that after this championship we're gonna unlock the special decals for the Enzo Ferrari. That's pretty nice. Why, but it seems that every time that I do this track, I end up demolishing the AI by quite a lot. I think that the AI really cannot do the chicanes for shit for some reason. So I really end up doing it so much better than them. Well, and here the cars, it seems that it's very balanced between the shower and the Ferrari, like whichever one is, you know, the fastest one. But in fact, aside from me, the first three in the leaderboards were shower. Was the only one preventing the podium from being all showers. So would have happened. But it would be pretty nice if the decal reward from this tour is for the Enzo Ferrari. It will be very shitty if it ends up being for the Apex. What am I saying? For the shower. Apex is the name of the tour. I'm assuming that the speed objective you get it in the main straight, right? Yeah, you do. Just that you have to risk it a lot before the first corner to reach that speed. Pretty hard to not drift on those slow corners, even with a car like this that has very good handling in this game, at least. I think this car was also in one of the PS3 Gran Turismo games. And I think that in those games, the handling of this thing was trash. I don't know which of the two games I should believe. Well, I think that this car is also in Need for Speed Rivals. And in that game it was also a good car. Yeah, that's what I say, like, most likely good in the context that it's a very arcade game. Since Gran Turismo wants to go for more realism, maybe that's how the actual car is gonna behave. Maybe. Okay. This is gonna be free. I mean, compared to the previous event, the previous tour, this one is gonna be a breeze. I guess so far we can conclude that Elements is the hardest tour so far. I repeat that because it can always get harder, and I personally don't really remember any tour being harder than any other. Like, in fact, I don't really remember shit about difficulty. Like, I remember struggling a lot with the drifting events, but something tells me that I struggled because I couldn't figure out that you were supposed to initiate the drift with the handbrake. So I probably was trying to drift using the regular brake, and I was obviously failing. So yeah, that's the only thing that I remember. I also, yes, remember some time trial events taking a while, but not any in particular. Like, I really don't remember much about this game from back when I played it. I do remember some instances of playing online, but for the most part, the tours themselves are kinda in the dark. Especially because, differently from now that I'm playing every single tour one after the other, back when this game released, these tours were released each month. So I essentially played them each month. I didn't play them one after the other. Basically play the two that release in a month, then had to wait another month to play the next two, and so on. So the tours themselves are hard to remember when you play them in, across such a long period of time. Because the season pass, I'm pretty sure, was meant to last a whole year of worth of content. So essentially that whole year you had 2 tours per month, more or less. So with something like that, I think it was pretty hard to do comparisons, because by the time that I was playing a new tour, I already forgot about the previous 2. But here, since I'm playing it all one after the other, it's easier to draw comparisons. So right now, I can conclude that Elements is the hardest one so far. We will see how the following ones go, but for example, this one, Apex, has been extremely easy in comparison. This has been absolutely nothing in terms of difficulty. So yeah, Pretty easy. We unlock... Oh! So at this point, when you level up your driver level, it's like you barely even unlock anything. Okay, so the paint shop that you got is for the McLaren, which is not bad. At least better than the fucking shower. Okay, alright. Well, I guess we will be able to see the Japanese tour a little bit. Like, I kinda either wanted to leave it for tomorrow or to do it all today, but I guess we're gonna do a little bit. I mean, we could do the first half. But yes, if you are getting tired of seeing the same places over and over again, don't worry, because this tour adds Japan. And Japan is essentially a whole bunch of new tracks. Like the same way that the other places have multiple variants and multiple different types of tracks here. Yes, welcome to Japan. I remember the tracks here looking very pretty, well, as you can already see in the preview. Because they have the typical, you know, cherry blossoms and you know, the mountains and stuff like that. Like, it just looks very pretty. What is not very pretty though is this car. This car is drifting a little bit too much, it seems. You also have some pagodas. Well, and here you have these gardens of the typical Japanese bridge, story doors. Yeah, they definitely make it look quite Japanese, as you would expect. All of the tracks that you're gonna see here are essentially brand new, and I think that that's the only time that they added a new location, because aside from that, I think that those are the 5 locations of the game. Norway, Ireland, India, Chile, and Japan. I don't think they added another one afterwards. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think those are all. You don't get more than that. So a little bit weird to start the Japanese tour with a non-Japanese car, right? Like, I'm not an expert, but I will say that this one is not a Japanese car. Probably. I wonder if that mountain on the distance is meant to be Mount Fuji, or if it's just a random ass mountain. Could be anything. You can leave it up to your imagination, you know. And we also have a very fancy finish line, then with a gigantic corridor and everything. Nice. This car, I very heavily doubt that it's Japanese, so I don't know why they use that one to present. Well, and this one is even worse. Oh, okay, I think I know. You know that the Nissans that are in this game, I think that they weren't introduced with this tour for some reason, even though it would have made a lot of sense. So at this point in the game, there were not Japanese cars. As you can see, all of these things are European, and cars that were already in the game before, so yeah. I guess no Japanese car for you, and they're supposed to be sport cars. I'm gonna pick this one simply because it has the special colors unlocked. Might as well. Know which one to use though. We'll use this, for example. So I guess the Nissan comes afterwards, huh? I feel like it would have been fitting to introduce the two, but maybe it would have been a lot of content for a single tour. Like they didn't want the other tours to be any less, right? Probably. Honestly, I should have picked the BMW. Because if you make me pick between Audi and BMW, I'll definitely pick BMW. Simply because it looks better. I was never really a fan of the way that Audi cars look. I don't think there is a single Audi car that I like the way it looks. I could be wrong, I'm forgetting about a particular one, but I always thought that the way that Audi looks, like, is very lame. Well, I got a trophy probably for beating like 100 face-offs or something like that. Well, that's cool. Well, another missed opportunity is that even if the Nissans get introduced later, it's pretty much the only Japanese car you have. Although I learned by investigating that in one of the final tours, the ones outside of the season pass that I don't have, you do get a Honda Integra, which is a shame that you don't get it before that. I guess that will be the other Japanese car you have. Because aside from that, I'm pretty sure Nissan is the only brand of Japanese cars that you get in this game. You don't get anything else. So the sports car category is supposed to be the slowest one, but I think only after hot hatch, right? I think it's essentially hot hatch. No, there is also performance. I mean, I'm not sure, I might be wrong, but I think the order is hot hatch, performance, sports, super, and then hyper, right? Are those the categories, or did I miss one? I feel like there has to be something between sports and super, but I don't know what it could be. So this is so easy, I could use the cockpit view for this, but if I use the cockpit view, I don't think we can appreciate the place as much as we do with this view. Like, if I were to do this, I mean, you appreciate it in a different way, I guess, but the details are definitely missing. Well, the details. Some details are missing. Because you get to see the inside of the Audi. Looks very comfy, if you ask me. Very comfort. Well, all the cars in this game probably look comfortable to be in. Except for the ones without roof. Those don't look comfortable at all. As you would expect. You're obviously limiting your view by looking at it like this. But, you know, I rather look at it like this. Like, you can appreciate it a lot better here. With the other one is more immersive for sure. But I mean, when it comes to immersion, unless you're using a racing wheel, you're not really gonna immerse you that much. Well, that and VR. You probably want to use VR. I really wonder how this game looks in VR, because I'm assuming it's probably fantastic. One of my dreams is basically have a full racing simulation setup, like with a cockpit and racing wheel pedals and well, a gearbox would be nice. I probably wouldn't use it though. The thing about the gearbox is that you have to take your hand out of the racing wheel to do to shift. And that's something that happens in real life, of course. But in real life, you usually don't race and you go slow on street roads. But when you're racing and having to do those very fast movements, the best thing that you can do there is just use the switches that the racing wheel has to do upshifts and downshifts. It's probably for the best. But yeah, I dream of one day being able to have something like that and a VR headset. But it's less about having that, because if I really wanted to, I could purchase that. I have the money for that. But what I don't have is the space to put it. If I were to bring it here, it will be a disaster. Not to mention, you will have to set it up in a way that you can use the computer normally as well. I think that's the hardest part. Being comfortable to drive and at the same time being able to use the computer normally. I don't think there's any way to do that though. You will have to have multiple monitors and use one monitor exclusively for driving. If you... Wow, what the hell? How did that happen? Okay. Interesting. It's supposed to be a mountain pass, right? Yeah. The mountain pass of the many that are in Japan. You know that you might think when you look at something like Initial D and whatnot that having that many mountain passes is an absolute exaggeration. But no, they do have a lot of them. In the most remote place of the country, you can see that you have mountain passes because Japan is like 90% mountain. Well, not that much, I guess, but there are so many mountains in that country. So of course, if you want to have roads that connect all the cities with each other and even towns, you obviously need to pave roads in the middle of mountains. Like you don't have any other choice. That wasn't a penalty. Okay. Pretty nice. Honestly, it makes sense that most of the DLCs in this game, like the DLC tours, usually don't use the sport cars or anything like that. In this case, is it supposed to be a brand new like a brand new collection of cars? You obviously are gonna, you know, no, not cars, what am I saying, of tracks. You're gonna want to use those tracks with every car category possible, I guess, but for the most part, most DLCs don't try to touch the slower cars, and it makes sense because using these cars, especially after you have used that lightning look pretty good, but using that after you use the faster ones is a disaster. Well, a disaster is an exaggeration, but what I mean is that it feels very slow. It really feels like you're going at a snail's pace. The lightning reflection looks so absurdly good here. They made an amazing job with that. Alright. Well, that was the championship. I guess making a championship with these cars is an exaggeration. Like having 1 or 2 events, no, 2 I think would have been already an exaggeration. And see, the funny thing is that you go from that to a Pagani showdown. Like you go from slow ass cars to these 2 monstrosities. Like it's nothing. Like you should switch your underwear, right? Okay. That's fucked up. But I'll take it. Well, obviously, if they made me pick between the Pagani Huari and the Pagani Sonda, I'll obviously pick the Sonda. Clearly, even. I still have my doubts if the Sonda being available here is simply because I'm inside a DLC tour and anything goes, or if I legitimately unlocked it. Something tells me that I simply have it for being a DLC tour. It's like the game is like, oh, you paid? Okay, you deserve using even something you shouldn't use. So, you know, pay to win. But weird that it didn't show up in the base one. It seems that the place where you can reach that 283 kilometers per hour is not gonna happen anytime soon. I just really like this garden part here. Like, this looks so nice. This is supposed to be the reverse version of the first track. Right, so I'm assuming this is the straight line that you reach that speed. I mean, it has to. Right? The track ends shortly afterwards, so it is here. The weird thing is that in this zone, the black part of the track does not count as soft track, the ghosts in the time trial were able to go there like it was nothing, so a little bit weird. But hey, sure. More track to use, better. I say that like a caveman. Sorry, but I guess I am a caveman. When it comes to English, at least. I really say that like a caveman without realizing. Initial drift. I just realized the name. Damn. That's fucked up. I mean, I guess they couldn't let the opportunity go to waste. They were gonna have a drift event in Chapin, they had to call it initial drift. I guess the only reason why they don't have troubles with copyright is because the D in initial D doesn't stand for drift. Well, they probably wouldn't have issues even if they had the real meaning, but not like the series really gives it that much importance anyways. Wow, I completely lost all my score right at the end like a fucking moron. Okay, let me redo that. All I needed to do is to not crash. Like, that would have been enough. Oops. It's just that I thought that I already had the required score. That's why I didn't care if I lost it, but I did not. A little bit dumb. Okay, don't worry. We're gonna get it on this one. I have zero doubts about that. Ooh, though I almost lost the score there at the end. But it's fine. As I say, trust me. We got this. Well, in fact, pretty sure, yeah, I already got it there. So even if I get zero on this one, like I did again, that's still enough. I guess that ending is not easy at all to do. Alright. And then I'm gonna do one more event. I say that I will do the first half, and I will. So, Icona Volcano. Salute. It's a time trial. Oh, that's the problem, though. It is a time trial. That will be an issue. But this is the thing that I have my doubts. Isn't this a new car, like a DLC car? So, why is this car introducing the Japanese tour? Doesn't seem to make too much sense. We should have introduced the Japanese cars here. This being a time trial, and more important, a time trial in the middle of the rain, will be a problem. On the right side, like it's usual, it seems that the AI is dog shit at chicane, so you don't have to worry about that. Well, these are not AI, as I said before, but the thing is that they want to give a chance to people that don't take full advantage of chicanes, since I mean, chicanes are never really obvious on how to get them properly. I mean, aside from skipping them. That's something I remember when I was a kid playing Gran Turismo. The way I did chicanes is simply by skipping them. The thing is that even if you want to do that here, you can, because you're gonna get penalized. But it's not really an option. It is not. Okay. In a final corner here. Oh, that's a very shitty corner at the end. That's a shame. It's because of that corner that I'm not gonna get this. That sucks. That corner at the end, I will say that it sucks some balls. Not sure how many balls, but it certainly sucks some of them. Oh, that was a skip, god damn it. If you don't do the chicane properly, you're at a huge disadvantage. Oh well. This doesn't seem hard. I mean, keep in mind that previous attempt, I was close to getting it, and I only didn't get it because I did a very strong crash in one of them. Okay. So the problem with this chicane is the left side. It's very easy to skip it there. It is, but I went more to the right, and that essentially solves it. The problem with this track is that it has no indicators for corners, so you never know how fast or slow you're supposed to do something. It's a mystery. Yeah, that's that part. Well, that's an issue because... And that's an even bigger issue. That being said, if I manage to make the last corner properly, I can still win this. But yeah, that one corner that I crash on my PB is just extremely hard to see it coming. And especially if you don't have any flags that tell you the intensity of the corner then, but I'm getting fucked. Maybe I should leave this one for tomorrow. The problem with this is that the worst ones are the ones that look free. Like this one right now looks very free, assuming I get a clean attempt. But by doing that, I'm probably gonna keep retrying more and more. And I might end up taking more than I initially planned. If at least this look extremely hard, I probably will just like, yeah, whatever, leave it for tomorrow. Okay. I'll try harder tomorrow. But no, here it's giving me hope. And it's making me take a lot longer than I was expecting. That's the issue. Alright, so what is the troublemaker corner? This one. Yeah, this one. That corner sucks. Because it comes out of nowhere with absolutely no signals that it's coming. Oh, shit. That wasn't a hard corner to do. Come on. A little bit too long on that one. Damn, I did that so well, but now I need to get the last one. I can't believe I failed that one on the... If I had done that one properly in the first attempt, I would have gotten this on the first try. But for some reason I failed that corner. But it's as I say, the lack of the flags on the side of the road make it very hard to see how tough the corner is gonna be. Alright, so that will be it for me for today. So we already started this Sakura tour, and we're obviously gonna finish it tomorrow. Then there are some very nice tours coming. I don't think we're gonna... Like, if I had to take a guess, tomorrow what we're probably gonna be able to do is Downforce and Midnight. I don't think we're gonna reach Lamborghini, but then when we reach that one's gonna be great. Yeah, that will be it for me for today, so thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream, so have a good one and take care.